As we saw in the gospel lesson, religion can cause conflict between people, even family members. No matter the religion, no matter the time it appears in history, when people begin to move into new religious expressions, there will be quarrels within families and communities. Sometimes it can get serious. Jesus was nailed to a cross because people opposed his words and actions. We read that Jeremiah the prophet was thrown into a cistern by members of the royal family because they didn't like what he was saying. We like to call our religion peaceful, but we just read where Jesus challenges the assumption that his coming guarantees peace in our hearts, peace in our families, peace in our communities, peace in our nation, or peace in the world. If we ever expand out into the galaxy, I'm sure our religious differences will create some level of division even there. Like every religious tradition that has ever existed, the gospel of Jesus Christ often divides people. One can imagine sons, daughters, and in-laws in both Jewish and Gentile families joining the new Christian movement, which led to division and conflict. This continues today in many places around the world, but for the most part, people in our families generally belong to the same or similar religion, such as Christianity. Even when we disagree about some of the finer points, we are not likely to fight about it as much. We are much more likely to fight about politics. Division, conflict, animosity, quarrels, squabbles, and disagreements are inevitable. But we shouldn't accept this to be the end of the story. Yes, we should operate under the assumption that any time we take our faith seriously, someone will not like it. However, rather than accept conflict as the norm, we should be motivated and inspired to create the peace that is not guaranteed. Rather than back down and sweep our faith under the rug, we should tell ourselves, challenge accepted. After all, Jeremiah didn't give up his mission after he was thrown into the cistern by the people who hated him. Jesus did not give his mission up after he was nailed to the cross. And we shouldn't give up our mission because people don't like what we have to say. Peace might not be guaranteed, but we should accept the challenge at all times to pursue peace. We can start with inner peace. Peace begins with each one of us. When our hearts are anchored in peace, our presence becomes a refuge for others. Once we find peace within ourselves, we can speak peace into existence. We can say the right things, as Proverbs 15:1 reminds us. A gentle answer turns away wrath. Whether it's in our families, workplace, communities, or our congregations, we can choose words that heal and not harm. Along with our words, we can create peace through our actions. On a small or large scale, we all have the ability to seek peace and its companion justice with our words backed up by our actions. Accepting the challenge to create peace means standing up for the marginalized, listening to the unheard, and working toward a world that reflects God's desire for peace. Another way to help create peace is to forgive. Nothing restores peace to the world like an act of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a weapon of peace in a world addicted to violence and revenge. When you add all this up, a peacemaker is indeed a bridge builder. The real challenge is to listen more than we speak, to understand more than we judge, and to love more than we construct boundaries. As Paul challenges us in Romans 12:18, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Accepting this challenge of creating peace in a world of conflict means waking up each day and choosing love over hate, unity over division, and hope over despair. It's not easy, but challenge accepted.